Hello friends, and welcome to What's Up with Richard. Today we're going to do an ABC quick check on my bicycle. Now before we get started here though, I know a lot about bikes, but I am not a bike expert. I do my best to keep my bikes in good shape by keeping them clean and checking them over. However, if I'm not comfortable doing any mechanical task, I'll take it to a local bike shop and have them do the work. So if you do not feel comfortable doing any of the adjustments that I suggest today, you can go to a local bike shop and they can do a basic tune-up for a reasonable price. But I would do it now, early in March, because the longer you wait, the busier they're going to get. And the longer you're going to have to wait to get your bicycle back. One of the first things we want to do then is check the air in the tire. But before we even do that, we need to check the condition of the tire. So the first thing you want to do is check the tread all the way around the circumference of the tire, making sure there's no chunks out or any cracks, and especially here along the sidewall. If you see any cracks or damage there, that tire should be replaced. This is a perfect example of why you want to check your tires before you go out on a ride. I did not realize when I finished my last ride on this bike that I actually had that kind of damage. But when I went to ride the next day, lo and behold, I checked my tires and look. If I had been out on the road and hit a stone and that tire would have blown, it would have been a long walk home. So check your tires before you ride. It only takes a few seconds and it might save you a long walk. The next thing we need to do is to fill the tire with air. Now the proper pressure is noted right along here along the sidewall. You'll have to find that on your individual tire. This particular bike, 75 pounds per pressure is the max. The next step is B for brakes. And the first thing you want to do is check your brakes for wear. There are little grooves in the brake pad. If those are worn down or you can't see them anymore, then it's time to replace those brake pads. The next thing you want to do is make sure that when you push the brakes, that it is touching just the rim. As you can see, it's touching just the rim and not the tire, and it's not diving down onto the spokes. And when it comes to the brake levers, you want to make sure that when you put on the brakes, that you have about an inch of play between your handlebar and your brake lever. If you don't have the inch, then you'll probably need to do a brake adjustment. Step C now is for cranks, chain, and cassette. First thing you want to do is make sure your crank bolts are tight. Give your crank arm a little wiggle. Make sure your bottom bracket is in good shape. You can check your pedals, check your chain, and also check your rear sprocket. If any of the little teeth back here look like shark fins, then it's probably time to replace your freewheel or your cassette. Q is now for quick release. Here's your quick release lever. And if you've noticed that it is engaged at about 90 degrees, which is appropriate. Sometimes I have it running parallel, but unfortunately with the rack on here, it doesn't fit. And here on the front, you can see that it is 90 degrees and I have it running parallel to the fork. Since this is ABC Quick Check, the check part means check over the rest of the bike. You check your frame. We're looking for cracks, especially in the welds. Other places, up front, same thing. Again, up front, looking at all the welds. And especially all the welds down here by the bottom bracket. And I don't see any cracks or damage there, so I think this bike is ready to roll. To do a quick check like this would only take you probably 10 minutes, 15 minutes at the top if you have the proper tools and stuff with you. And I think it's well worth it. The next thing I would do is go out and do a short test ride. Make sure all the gears work. Make sure your brakes are functioning properly. And then you can go on an extended ride.